Welcome to the Natalie and Catherine Ann Show!
Today we're interviewing Sally Gamble.
We were wondering, what makes you the same person over time?
I feel like when you're born with a set of who you are as a person, which makes everyone different from each other, because you all process the world differently. Like, you all see the same things, but you perceive them differently. And I feel like that's what makes you the same person, is that yes, you may change as you grow older, but you still perceive the world in your own individual way.
Sally Gamble, do you believe everyone has souls? Has souls?
Has a soul?
Yes.
Yes, I do believe that. I believe that everyone has a soul, and that's what makes everyone an individual.
The soul theory claims that every person has a self or soul that makes them unique over time. It stays with them throughout their whole life, and it's not tangible, but it makes them unique from others.
The bundle theory. The bundle theory simply consists that your body consists together with a collection of mental items. Your mental life includes perceptions, emotions, memories, and perceptions of life. David Hume's view on it was that human beings are nothing but a bundle or collection of different perceptions. He claims that there's no reason to think that a soul exists. The same body theory explains that we are the same person if and only if we have the same body. For example, physical objects can change within limits and yet remain the same physical objects. If my arm were to be cut off, I'm still the same person.
John Locke's memory theory states that we are the same person over time because we can remember ourselves at an earlier time and how we felt and thought at that time. Yet, the objection to this theory is that people can easily forget things. But if someone can remember themselves at a younger age or in a previous time, then how would they not be the same person?
Do you think God created the universe?
Yes.
Why? Because that's what I've always believed. Do you believe that God designed the universe?
Yes.
Do you believe that everything has a purpose?
Yes.
Do you believe that it's just a coincidence that giraffes have long necks? Or do you believe that God created that?
think it's for a reason, obviously.
Philosophers refute the claim that the universe isn't designed by God, that they argue that everything happened by chance. It may just be a coincidence that the universe came to be, not necessarily that God created it. David Hume comes up with an objection. He infers what causes something from information about the thing itself. We are to infer a cause from its effects. So we are only familiar with one universe. We do not observe its causes, and that's all we know. We cannot prove that God created the universe.
The first cause argument says that everything has a cause, yet God doesn't have a cause, which refutes the claim in itself because by not having a cause, it disagrees with the argument. More so, when people believe that God is the first cause of the universe, they don't prove that God exists, but just that He's the best reason to believe the universe was created. Rod, my friend said that in a century there will be robots that are conscious. What do you think? Will they?
Well, I don't know, Catherine. With all the things that have happened in science and technology and stuff, with like now they can recreate a sheep and it looks just like a sheep. Maybe they could do that in sort of human form, but I'm not sure if you can create feelings or emotions in a robot. Like Siri, you can say things to her and you call her a bad name or something that hurts her feelings, but I don't know if that doesn't really hurt her feelings. I'm not sure how they can make a cell phone or something like a cell phone have feelings and have a soul and be hurt by something. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but we'll have to wait and see.
Descartes decided that machines can't think, even though he's from centuries ago, and pretty much the machinery was just typewriters and printing presses and things like that. He decided that we can never come up with such a thing as artificial intelligence. Also, that relates to the piecemeal replacement argument. That is a thought experiment. That is when if you have a dead piece of a brain in your brain, and doctors decide to take it out and then put a new piece of machine in there, and then all of a sudden your brain works perfectly. But then if they keep on taking pieces of your brain away and putting in the machine pieces, then eventually your brain will become a machine, and then you will eventually become a machine.
The tipping point objection argues that when so much of your brain is removed and replaced with robotic parts, then your brain becomes unconscious. This suggests that a robotic brain could not possibly have feelings, because if all of the parts work together, then the robotic pieces cannot be sufficient enough as a replacement for the real parts of your brain. The Chinese room example was an experiment set up where a man was in a room with Chinese symbols passed under the door to him. He didn't know what the symbols meant, so he had instructions that told him what to draw back to the person. So when the person on the other side of the door received the symbols, they thought that they were having a conversation back and forth, when in reality, the man in the room was just going through the motions of following the instructions that told him what to do. And this mimics how a machine does the same thing. It can't think about what it's doing or understand it, it just does what it's told to do. That's all, boys and girls. Join us next week when we give you some new ideas to think about. Ciao for now.
What's up?
Welcome to the Natalie and Catherine show.